All right, in this video we're going to talk about latency issues. So if you're recording and you're hearing a bit of delay in your headphones, or if you're experiencing kind of like some doubling or you know, however you want to interpret it, these are some things you can quickly do to try to make that go away. So the first thing you'll want to look at if you've got a session open, we're in Pro Tools right now, but this applies to any DAW, is if you have a ton of plugins open on any given track. When you have plugins open, they introduce latency because the system needs more time to have that processing actually happen. So when you're recording, the best practice would be to make all these plugins inactive as you go to reduce the latency. Before you even get to that, I mean, that's a quick thing to check, but if you go to the playback engine, different DAWs have it in different places, but you need to find the buffer size that's set in your DAW. Lower numbers are always better for low latency. So if you're finding, if you get in here and you see it's at 512, 256, whatever, a higher number, bring it down to 128. 128 will usually work. If you're still getting latency, try lower than that, 64. If you get too low, you're going to get kind of crackling and distortion in your recording because there isn't enough buffer for the system to actually process your vocals. But you can, with our computers, you can get pretty low. 64 is usually fine, and 128 is usually even a good bet, and that should be all right. Another internal issue that often comes up is if you're using auto-tune. So we'll throw an auto-tune on here and bring that over. When you're using auto-tune and recording through it, you want to go to, not advanced, excuse me, go to the settings here and make sure that you have use low latency engaged. Whenever you're recording, you need to have this checked. Otherwise, auto-tune's going to introduce all sorts of latency, and yeah, you're not going to be able to record in real time with it. When you finish recording, to up the quality, you can disengage the use low latency, but whenever you're recording through auto-tune, make sure that's engaged. Last thing to check is actually in console. So we'll open up console, go into the settings. If the input delay compensation is set to medium long, something medium long, you're gonna have delay. You're gonna have delay kind of coming in. You're gonna have latency coming into your ears. So make sure to set to short, or you can set it to off if you want. If you're not using any plugins here, short's usually fine, so you can probably leave it there, and that should help your problem. If none of that works, restart the computer. I can't stress enough how often that just magically fixes the problem. So give it a try if all those other fixes haven't done the job.